You're listening to
Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze and Terry Tam.
I now know that I'm on with a spy, depending on who's the captain of this ship. That's probably a bad thing if this podcast is supposed to go viral, isn't it?
Cordero Patterson like grabbing some shanks, gentlemen here, and he quote, and I quote, "I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody blank and blank in my balls, my face."
In my teenage years, I'd get back from high school, I'd smash 2 pizza pockets. Carmelo Anthony never learned you can't live life just smashing pizza pockets.
Because he lost a double bet, what I did is I cut a jalapeno in half, and I filled it with hot sauce. So he's going to have to slurp this down.
Why you give me a fucking banana, dude? I'm not eating a banana. I'll rather piss in my mouth than eat this.
Okay, so there we go. Stop stalling. Let's go. Go.
Now, here are your hosts, Mo, Terry, and Peeze.
Welcome, everyone. This is Hot Sauce Sports. It is Super Bowl week. I am so fed up of Super Bowl coverage. I am Peeze Del Rees, but I can't wait for this game between the Rams and Patriots. I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, Terry Terry himself.
Terry.
How's it going, buddy?
It's good, man. It's episode 10.
It is.
We hit a milestone.
We talked a little bit off air about Firefest. The thing in sports that I realize now watching the Kristaps Porzingis trade is the New York Knicks planning essentially is straight up Firefest. That's what that is.
It's like a fire sale.
It's just a whole bunch of things like reacting to one another, and then like, oh, we need to do this and we need to do this, and Amari Stoudemire is here for some reason. Let's okay, we got Melo, it's fine, everything's solved. No, that didn't work. Okay, let's just drop everything.
Let's just draft a sleeper and then sell him for nothing.
Seriously,
Just kill me.
Yeah, Duke is the
worst
Knicks
news.
fan. Huh?
2019, the year just nonstop.
Even
nonstop bullshit.
Even an MMA reporter from Montreal, he's a huge Knicks fan, Ariel Helwani, and on his Twitter he recorded a video of him unfollowing the Knicks with like a sad music in the background. It was really funny. Yeah,
it's tough. And we're going to talk about that later. That we have a lot of headlines, and of course we're joined by our producer here, just heard his voice, Duke,
What's up, boys?
as well as our producer at Eagle at Master Control. So those gentlemen, they're ready with us to jump into our week of news.
the week that was.
Let's get to it. The headlines of the week. We start, of course, with Kristaps Porzingis being traded.
Of course.
This is deadline
Chris.
week. The NBA is not done, man. They're like, all right, Super Bowl's going to be done. Everyone's going to be hungover. Let's give them a reason to keep drinking. Deadline day right that week. So there's going to be more noise than actual news, of course, because the thing is, we love looking at the hypotheticals and running the trade machine on ESPN. Yeah. I've done every AD trade, by the way. I don't know about you. I've done AD trades for every team.
I haven't tried it yet.
But the big news, the actual news, the blockbuster trade that said Kristaps Porzingis to Dallas. What do you think the benefit is for the Knicks, Terry?
I think this frees up a lot of space, like you had mentioned to me before the show, actually. So it frees up a lot of space for them, and it gives them enough room to go for a Kyrie who were chanting his name, or
according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, he said that there's real traction
for AD
behind. No, not AD. They can no longer trade for AD. But there's
why?
Because they have no assets.
Oh yeah, every first round pick for the rest of our lives.
Even then,
they
don't have the money to match. Well, I guess they have DeAndre Jordan, which they won't.
That's it, exactly.
No, he's gone.
But the thing is, there's real traction behind Kyrie Irving not staying in Boston.
Yeah,
there's actual there's people in his camp or that are around him that Wojnarowski said, listen, there's actual buzz saying this guy is at least thinking about not staying in Boston.
Why are you messing with my emotions? Don't just tell me. Don't just say Kyrie's going to come to New York. It hurts because I know he's not going to come to New York.
I'm just a jerk, man. That's what I do.
Like him, I keep hearing people going to say KD's going to be there too. That hurts. So I know it's not going to happen.
Why do we know it's not going to happen? Why can't they throw money at KD?
They have the money.
They have the money.
So Carlin Gray, when he was on with us, NBA.com, he talked to us about the fact that there is something happening in Golden State one of those 4 pieces will not be there next year.
It's impossible. It's just like in the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, the way they work, they paid 4 guys. The rest were all young guys. They would trade them for other young picks and make young guys. They always kept the top.
It's a
4.
Ponzi scheme at some point.
Massively.
Again, Firefest.
It's a fucking
Yo, I
fire
watched
sale.
that movie, all right? So it's all I can think about.
I haven't watched it yet, and I can't wait to watch it. What do you want, Duke?
So Porzingis has had about 16 injuries since 2015. You want me to start listing them off?
He's had 16
He's had
injuries.
about 16. Little
You know,
knee injuries.
I've never seen him wear his jersey.
torn left ACL,
He wears a
torn
t-shirt
left
under
Achilles, sprained left knee,
Torn
sore
Achilles?
left groin, strained left quad, bruised left thigh, sore right hip, sprained right ankle, sore right foot.
Okay.
Inflammation to the bone and a tendon of his right knee.
I have all
lower
of
back
this.
tightness, which obviously you're gonna have.
But,
lower
but
back
he's not
tightness.
30 years old,
Yeah.
Terry.
Right
Oh.
shoulder strain and unspecified right elbow issue.
An unspecified right elbow issue.
So, but the thing with
But that, I feel like all
you know what it
athletes
is?
have these
You know what
pains.
it is? So, like, you know when you don't like your boss? And I'm not saying that Dolan's a bad boss. I'm saying Dolan's a bad boss. That's not even speculative at this point.
Well, you don't like your
They
boss,
just
you don't
call him
want
in
to
and
go
be
to
like,
work.
yo, I know you're probably playing a concert no one's going to, but I can't be there, bro. I got unspecified issue with my elbow. I don't know. I walked into my microwave.
It's very unspecified.
I can't specify really. It was I hit my microwave or my
specifications.
oven or my stove.
The specifications on this injury are very gray.
Yeah. So I gotta go. You gotta trade me, and he did.
And he did, exactly. I'm happy that something actually happened. Not that the Knicks got rid of anybody, but that something happened in the NBA because I was so fucking tired of hearing all the hypotheticals. And the fact that Dallas went and did this,
Yes.
man, big balls on them.
So he's going to be Chris Apps is going to be playing next season, not this season, because
Yeah.
of his current ACL injury. So he's taking after Dirk essentially.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
So it's a great trade on their end.
So does
like
this make the Mavs an instant contender now with the Doncic role, Luka Doncic?
But who else
and
from that trade would play?
Doesn't matter.
Nobody. So it doesn't change anything for them.
I'm
Well,
on
I'm
it.
saying next season. They'll not
Oh,
have
next
to
season, yeah,
substitute
100%.
Porzingis
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Doncic.
100%. You've improved you drastically from DeAndre Jordan to Porzingis, and I think that he's a world class
Do you
player.
guys even remember Mark Cuban basically writing love letters
Yeah.
to DeAndre Jordan, getting him there, and then like Blake Griffin like kidnapped him, and like it was like a detox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like slapped him around a little bit,
And
listen,
now he gets rid of him.
you gotta stop being crazy.
But
You're
I've always-
smoking crack. You
I've
gotta
always
stop.
I've always felt like that when that happened, there had to have been a rift that happened from that occasion when they were trying to keep DeAndre Jordan.
Of course,
But
for sure something
when they
happened.
when the Mavs got DeAndre Jordan, they then all right, well you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. We
need
don't need you anymore.
The rest of deadline day coming up, of course. The big name everyone's been talking about. It's already been overplayed. So let's do it again. Because it's Super Bowl week. Let's talk about basketball. Anthony Davis.
The unibrow.
Now, here's the thing. I'm thinking about his look. I figure in LA it's problematic.
Why?
Look, it's going to be a trend and
He
everyone's going to start
trademarked
doing
it.
it.
He trademarked it, so it's like it's insured.
It's insured in case someone shaves him.
Yeah.
If I'm Dollar Shave Club, I'm taking all of those dollars and putting it behind a campaign where he shaves his unibrow.
You should.
Yeah.
He did it for April Fool's last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was the
He
joke?
pretended to shave it, and people fell for it.
Oh.
But
But then it
people are
wasn't shaved?
stupid.
Yeah,
What?
But then it wasn't shaved?
Yeah. Then there was another picture of him after with it
Also, just,
with it back on.
that's the worst.
But whatever. People caught on. Oh my god! I can't believe he did it.
Real April Fool's trick is get traded to Dallas.
So where is the unibrow gonna go? Where do you think he's gonna go?
I think he fits in the Midwest because his unibrow looks like the people.
Indiana. Perfect. Next question.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Trade nothing to get him. Honestly, so there
Nuggets.
was a report
Denver
about
Nuggets.
the Raptors making a move. The thing is, they have to try everything to keep
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
because
But
Kawhi,
you're gonna have to get rid of Lowry.
And
Yeah, well-
Pascal Siakam.
they're gonna have to get rid of everything.
But would you really give up
Yes.
Pascal Siakam?
Yes.
Someone that's for
Yes.
sure
You're
yes.
gonna have to because
Yes, they have no choice.
because of comments like you just made. Do you really have to get? Because yes, he is your best
Yeah.
prospect.
he
Because
is their best prospect.
the thing is that you in the NBA you can't be mediocre. So this is the Raptors' legitimate chance.
Yeah.
And the only way you'll attract top end talent is by continuing to be at the top of the rank of the standings. They've already shown they can be aggressive.
So I thought about this. Is that you have to show that you can win to get big talent, but if the two people that you got are not there anymore the year after,
Play for the lottery. That's the only way you can be successful.
but that's
in
what
the
I'm saying is that so nobody else would be like, okay, well they only won because of Kawhi and
Correct.
AD, so we're not going to go there.
Correct. So then, so if they stay, because we saw it with Paul George. Paul George was supposed to insta opt out and go to LA, right?
Yeah,
When LeBron signed there,
supposedly, yeah,
but that never materialized.
because he's thriving right now.
Yeah, but the thing is that similarly, we don't know Kawhi's future. He may decide to stay. Having another superstar beside him, and he may look around and be like, you know what, this can work. This can be a thing. We can, because that's
You're gambling.
That's the thing that can compete with Golden State. By the way, length and the ability to offend
You're gambling big time, and our guest today, Gabriel Morency, is going to for sure be able to enlighten us a little bit on it too. But you're gambling, and you're gambling on the fact that maybe people are going to stay. But at the end of the day, if Kawhi wants to go to LA, didn't he just buy a house, like a $13 million house?
He
Something
bought
like
it
that?
in San Diego. First of all,
That's
Second
like
of
3
all,
hours away from LA. It's
second
like
of all,
37 hours away from
he's
Toronto.
also from LA, so he's. From
I know.
California.
I'm obviously.
He's not
very-
going to live in Toronto the offseason.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
Nobody lives in Toronto the offseason. Nobody would want to live in Toronto ever.
Yeah, somebody from Regina.
Yeah, that's the only way. What's a vagina? Some other names, of course, on the block. Thon Maker, because Milwaukee realized we already have a lot of really tall guys.
Yeah.
Let's
plus
get
Which
shorter.
is freakishly athletic. So
Let's get shorter.
let's try something else. Enes Kanter. Turkey has warned, however, New York, don't trade him because we don't want no born identity shit. So
Well, I don't understand.
Yeah,
because
no
he's
one gets
obviously
that.
doing it to trade passports and escape the Turkish government. That's the only reason anyone would help Enes Kanter be traded from.
I mean,
Turkey.
I hope he gets traded. It sucks that he's in the situation that he's in right now. Because he's a good guy. He's a decent player.
But
You know,
is
he's,
he good?
he's a decent player.
So, because like
He's not
as soon as
I wouldn't
Utah
class-
traded him, Rudy Gobert was like, "Why weren't they playing him all the time?"
But I also feel like New York is gonna be a catch in a sense for a lot of players because of Fizdale. I feel like Fizdale is a great coach,
Yeah.
and a lot of players really. I know I don't want to get into cliches, but a lot of players love playing for him. So I feel, and plus they have
in
two,
the
they
NBA,
have
that's
two
legitimate
cap
though, because
spots.
in the NBA, that's legitimate because the players, especially in today's NBA, want to feel empowered. They want to feel sort of in charge of their own careers. And Fizdale, sort of guys like Steve Kerr, have shown this is a successful formula for getting players to buy in today's NBA. In the UFC, however,
Yes.
guys trying to take ownership of their career. However, it doesn't always work out well. The end of the Khabib McGregor fight, I thought was amazing.
Which fight?
Sorry,
Which fight?
but the fight wasn't amazing.
Before or after the fight? Before the
No,
fight or the fight after the fight?
Either way, the fight itself was not the attraction. But due to events around the fight,
Yes.
Khabib fined $500K and a 9-month suspension. McGregor fined $50K and a 6-month suspension. On top of that, Khabib's suspension can be reduced if he records a PSA, which obviously
An
works.
anti-bullying PSA where he was not the bully.
Yeah.
So tell me
What was it? Is
that
it what he
the
did?
UFC
Is it what he did? An anti-bullying PSA?
pretty much
Just punch your bully in the face.
bunch of bullying. Do not bully me. But it's so obvious how deep the UFC have Conor McGregor's balls in their mouth. Because and I'm not saying that he should have been fined more, but there shouldn't be anybody having to do a PSA, and it shouldn't be Khabib if involved this. If you look at details,
Stop. The thing is, why are athletes ever doing PSAs? Why are we telling children these are your role models? These are
especially two guys
they're
that
not famous for their morality. They're famous for their ability to play the sport.
yeah, exactly. But you automatically look up to an.
I don't want to
an
see the
athlete.
Pope dunk, bro.
So you're like
I
you're
don't want to
like
see the Pope dunk, though.
so you're like 48, right? So
At least, if
yeah,
not greater.
so you're like 48 years old. So you probably know what it was like when Larry Zonka was playing for the Dolphins.
Yeah, his mustache was legendary.
Legendary.
It came in.
So when you're
smelling like all
when you're
sorts of
12 years
ladies the
old,
next
when
day.
you're 12 years old, and Larry Zonka would have come to see you,
Mhm.
I've just aged you horribly.
Yeah, I never watched Larry Zucker play.
I know.
I'm not that old.
But you're that old. But so you're 12 years old, and this is when Larry Zonka's at his
Oh,
peak
yeah,
in like 1973. And he comes to your high school and he says, Peeze, don't do drugs because you'll be like Larry Zonka.
Yeah.
What do you do?
That depends.
How quick are you
have I
doing your
already tried
crackhead?
weed? Because if I've already tried weed, it'd be like, Not worth
You're
it.
12 years old. You probably haven't yet, but 13 years old is rolling around, and that's where you probably experiment with it.
In which case, if it's late middle school, then it's too late, Larry. I'm already on the Mercury Morris train. But if it's like 12 years old, there's a chance.
Yeah,
I definitely would have a mustache either way.
that's it.
I'd be rocking garden with the beard, and I have like a thin, wispy ass like French painter mustache, right? So it's not even cool. It's not even cool.
At the end of the day, the PSA that he's going to do is just a way for the Nevada State Athletic Commission to get free commercial out of him. Because the same thing happened with Connor when he threw the chair into the bus. He was told he had to do community service or something like that. And he told him, fuck your community service. I'm not doing shit. I'll just pay you the money.
Yeah.
And I don't even think he ever did an hour of community service where I don't think Khabib is going to even touch a PSA. And he shouldn't have to, I think. I think it's bullshit.
John Jones will have some strict follow-ups from the USADA.
Yes, so USADA will be following up with him. They told him that he is allowed to fight, that they're going to license him, because the whole drama that happened last time was that he had a picogram that showed up of the steroids that he had taken 2 years ago that he was already suspended for, coincidentally, whatever. So he was fighting so he can get licensed. They couldn't license him on the spot because it was around Christmas time, according to Dana White, and people are on vacation. So California licensed him, so he went there. So now he's looking for USADA to allow him to fight and give him a license in Nevada. And they did, but they said, we're going to follow up with you very strict and make you do PP tests like once a week. And just to see
He
if
just
you...
won't look at his dick, though.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I mean,
Yeah.
look.
So I mean, it's
the
good.
Bone.
It's good for John
John
Jones.
the Bone Jones.
It's good for John Jones. It's good for the UFC because, you know, he's an excellent fighter. I mean, all this picogram stuff is very sketchy to me, but that's a different story.
So, the thing is with John Jones, we all hope, of course, that the demons, of course, are very serious.
Yes.
But rumors have it that beyond the steroids and all the other drugs he's done in the past, he's now moved on to things that aren't tested for in UFC, like straight battery acid. Just straight
do
battery
that?
acid, mouthwash. That's his cocktail.
Hey.
He's having trouble ordering that in bars, to be honest. That's been the difficult part. Ovechkin, that dude's for real, dude.
He's nasty. He's one of the best players I've seen.
37 goals in 50 games, on pace for 61 this season. This would be his 8th season of over 50 goals. On pace. Oh, he's on pace for 61. He's had 1 year at 65.
Yeah.
The dude's... And, man, look, he's the best to watch, though, right?
Yeah, he's the funnest guy to watch. He drinks Coke on the bench and he sits away from his team.
He's basically a child.
Yeah, he's basically a child with crazy amount of skill.
Yeah. I loved watching him just get drunk all over America during his Stanley Cup celebration, getting kicked out of places, swimming in a fountain.
Oh, he's the best.
Like you saw in his face at the Nationals game, holding the cup over his head. You saw
The Nationals game?
Oh, he went to watch the Nationals game.
I was like, when did he play baseball?
They kept panning the camera to him, and whether or not the camera was on him, he had the cup raised over his head, and you could see how blazed he was, just blind. It didn't matter if the camera was on him or not. He had that pose for 3 hours, just 3 straight hours.
I love this guy. I think he's the bright spot of hockey because I've said it before, man, hockey players are the most boring.
Yeah, well, it depends.
They're fun when they talk to each other.
Yeah,
It's the funniest thing in the fucking world because they have a specific way of talking. But when they talk to the media, man,
it depends. We'll get some good stuff out of them. We'll get some good stuff.
Yeah?
Out of them. We get honestly, I feel like we get guys to talk about stuff they're interested in,
yeah,
and it gets them to loosen up a little.
of course, yeah.
It's
We
kinda
really
fun.
do, man. We really do.
Because the thing is, nothing bores me more than, like, for example, like, you know, what do the Rams need to do to beat the Patriots? And then, like, you hear all the same generic
All the
answers.
same shit.
And, like, so I have a theory that...
That's why I love our guest that we have on today. He's probably
absolutely.
gonna he's amazing and he's probably gonna give us some inside scoops and a different way of thinking of how to gamble this week.
So, but do athletes either not know their sport enough to give real answers, or do they feel it's too boring to talk about? These are the things that actually have to happen in order to win.
I think they're so scared of saying the worst thing, something wrong, right? So that's why they're fucking so boring.
Anyway, who's the most, going back to Ovechkin, who's the most impressive player you've ever seen play? Russian player you've ever
Russian player. I mean, Pavel Bure, for me, I've seen him a bunch of times
Plus his
live.
wife's hot.
Pavel Bure's wife?
Yeah. Candace Cameron.
No, it's Valerie Bure.
Oh, it doesn't matter. One
And
of them.
they're
One of them's wife's hot.
And they're divorced.
Are they really?
Yeah.
She still has the name though in Fuller House.
Yeah, I guess, but because they have kids together, right? So I guess she kept it, but they're divorced, yeah. Valerie Bury played for Montreal Canadiens. No, Pavel Bury was very exciting to watch, but honestly, Ovechkin's the most exciting Russian. One of the most exciting players I've ever seen.
For
Him,
me-
Crosby, McDavid,
For me, it was
Sean Avery.
and I know he never lived up to the potential that he was supposed to.
Ovechkin?
Sergei Fedorov.
Oh, Sergei Fedorov.
Sergei Fedorov was to me the most beautiful, most graceful player I'd ever seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was never like the greatest player in the NHL.
Now that I think about it, Datsuk was crazy.
Datsuk
He
was
had
amazing.
crazy amounts of plays.
But just watching Fedorov to me was like, I was watching hockey like as a young guy kid growing up. I was like, oh my god,
It's like
this
what,
is-
like 45
yeah,
years
like
ago?
42.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, it was last week. The first time I saw Fedorov was last week, and so I was watching him, and I was blown away. I was like, how can this level of skill even exist?
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
know. And it was a beautiful way to play the game.
That whole Red Wings team back in those days, with Larionov and Fedorov and Konstantinov and all the Ovs. It was crazy to watch those guys play. Very skilled.
Terry, you're a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
I'm sure you're happy that Tony Romo's going to his first Super Bowl.
Yes, of course. I'm very happy. I'm
So
ecstatic.
if he does a good job broadcasting, it'll be the only way he could have ever won a Super Bowl.
Yes, exactly.
A quarterback who would never even got a chance at even a legitimate chance of starting in the NFL had a chance with the team in Jason Garrett and has since seemed to have fallen out of favor, which is weird because so a second ago Jerry Jones was only halfway through his bottle of Johnny Blue and he was like, listen, Jason Garrett, he's their man. 5 other teams would instantly rush to get him, and now apparently they're not extending his contract. Why now?
Because they want
Why
to
not?
they want to see what's going to happen with him, and I understand, but I don't understand why they're coming out now saying it.
That's the bizarre thing.
That's the part that's weird to me. Like,
'Cause-
if you just don't say it.
Because if you're gonna fire him soon,
Yeah.
you should have fired him before when coaching candidates were available. If you're gonna keep him anyway, what's the point of imagine your boss comes in and is like, "Hey, what's up? Day is numbered, bro. Looks like you're gonna be fired."
Hey, March 26th, I think you should start looking for a new job.
Is it because he's a ginger and he has no soul?
Well, he has no soul
Okay.
and no ability in calling plays.
That took a left turn.
Yep.
Yeah,
No souls. Jason Garrett has no soul, but he's a nice guy. He always coaches the Pro Bowl, I noticed.
I was I
It's weird.
as a kid I had a Jason
Because he's
Garrett-
not the Pro Bowl of coaches.
No.
not at all.
Well, he's the Pro Bowl. He's the Pro Bowl of coaches, and then nobody watches the Pro Bowl.
That's it.
Did you guys actually catch any of that?
No, God, no.
I saw
not at all.
7 plays.
Yo, they gotta move the Pro Bowl back to Hawaii.
No, why,
It
okay.
looks miserable.
Why play the Pro Bowl?
Also, yes.
Why play also?
Because if it's in Hawaii, that's why you play the Pro Bowl.
No, but Leighton Van Der Esch was he's considered a Pro Bowler now, but he was the 3rd choice. There was 3 guys that had to get injured before he made the team. So it's you're not really a Pro Bowler.
No.
So do the skills game,
Give
skills
me
challenge.
the dodgeball.
Exactly.
The dodgeball's the best part.
Do that stuff.
Andrew Luck just ripping balls at people, not knowing the rules of dodgeball clearly.
I don't want to watch them do something they've been doing all year, but at a lesser,
Yeah,
at a
with no competition
with
behind it.
no competition, no big hits, everybody being safe. I mean, just give me the skills challenge. Let me see what the guys can do. And in the NHL as well, the NHL All-Star game, it was fun the first year, the 3-on-3. It's just boring now. Just do the skills challenge
Which skills challenges would you add, Terry?
in hockey.
Yeah. Well, no, in the NFL.
In the NFL, I would change
Not related to football.
Oh, not related to football. Okay, I was gonna say I would
Pass
change.
the eating contest.
I would
hands
change
behind
the.
your back.
I would change the positions. I would say do the quarterback drill with an offensive lineman, something like that.
That's not bad. I would do so in Italy every year. They have the world pizza making competitions.
Ooh.
See who does the best twirly
Nice, I
dough
like that.
thingy. That's kind of awesome.
It's kind of okay.
I would love to see imagine a big offensive lineman just being able to really rip a pizza, just really twirl this.
Or just you put two massive spaghetti bowls and just put their faces in there, and wait till they finish.
Well, we used to growing up. My brother and I, we used to have a annual festival we used to go to. We used to compete in spaghetti eating competitions. Hands behind
Yep.
fuck
Two-time winner. You're looking at a
Yeah,
two-time
one-time
winner
winner
right here, man.
myself, 2-time winner my brother.
That's why we're fat.
That's why
bud.
we're fat. Yeah, it's
So a little drill that producer Eagle came up with, and I'm gonna steal.
For the All-Star
it's
game,
this is
Yeah.
gonna be terrible. It's gonna be
DB?
obviously the wrong.
I think it's
show.
gonna be amazing.
DB on wide receiver
God, I hate
drill.
you.
Yeah.
But the next one after they switch.
How about instead of DB receiver drill, you get stripper on receiver drill,
Yeah,
and see which strippers are best at covering wide receivers.
None of them.
I mean, that's dude. They're athletes, man. That pole's not. Have you
cover
tried
themselves.
pole
They
dancing?
Their whole
We should do
job
pole
is,
dancing class.
but their whole job is to
Facebook Live.
uncover themselves.
Yes, it's true. So they should play the receivers.
Yes,
Since
exactly.
they can't be covered.
Exactly.
We're going to get into lots of topics with our next guest. He's one of the guests I look forward to the most since we started the show. Gabriel Morency, the voice of our adolescence and adulthood.
I think so.
Young adulthood. He was a great guy to listen to after games, and now has since moved on in the New York media now.
Yeah.
So from Montreal, New York, that's a huge move. But the guy's got the talent. That's why you get those opportunities. Looking forward to Gabriel Morency now of Sports Rage, and he's up next. And we're back with Gabe Morency of Sports Rage. How's it going, Gabe?
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. How you doing?
Good. I'm entirely ready. Like, my gut is ready for the level of horrid punishment and complete just abandonment of absolute judgment. I'm going to stuff so many wings into my face all at one time. It's going to be great.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what Super Bowl Sunday's for, either drinking, eating, or betting, or all of the above. You can do all three.
That's us. That's us right here.
Absolutely.
Terry and I believe in all three vices. If there's anything wrong with us, it's eating too much, drinking too much, gambling too much.
Way too much.
The only problem is Monday morning. If you have to go to work, that's an issue. And I've got to be on at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, but it takes me a little while to get there to the studio. So yeah, it could be a hurting Monday morning, that's for sure. Hopefully, hopefully we wake up with more money in our pocket than less. I'll put it that way.
That's the goal. That's always the goal when it comes to the Super Bowl Sunday. Let's get your thoughts actually on the game, Gabe. While we're on the topic, how do you think the game's going to play out this weekend?
Well, one thing we've seen with New England Patriot Super Bowls with Tom Brady, every one of them are close. I mean, they were all 3-point games except for last year when they actually lost by 8 points. I would expect this game to be close as well. It's a tough game. It's a tough matchup. It's interesting. Look, 82% of the public, or at least we should say the betting public, about 80% of the bets are on the New England Patriots in this game. Yet a lot of the bigger bets are on the LA Rams. Over the last couple of, about 24 hours or so, somebody bet $1.5 million on the Rams money line. Somebody else dropped $300K on the Rams to win this game on the money line. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, it's hard to dispute their greatness, right? I mean, you can't doubt them. But at the same point in time, Tom Brady's 5-3, Belichick's 5-3 in Super Bowls. And, they came real close to losing that Seattle game. It's razor sharp from being 4-4. So it's not like they're dominant and they blow teams out in the Super Bowl. And I'll tell you, listen, there's a reason why the LA Rams opened up as 1-point favorites. All right, the odds makers saw the Rams as 1-point favorites in this game, and it was the public that pretty much said no. They jumped on Tom Brady's bandwagon. So I think it's going to be a close game. Probably whoever has the ball last wins type of football game, or at least within one possession in the fourth quarter. But ultimately, I think the LA Rams are going to beat the New England Patriots in a 30-27, 31-28 style football game. Higher scoring, not a complete track meet, but higher scoring. It'll get there over the number of 56, just barely. But I think the Rams are going to win a close one.
For those less familiar with Gabriel's work, Sports Rage is the absolute perfect name for his show. Of course, you can find him at Sports Rage. I want to get a little bit of that rage, Gab. What's the storyline this Super Bowl week that's so overplayed and you're tired of hearing after 2 weeks of droning Super Bowl coverage?
Well, really, you know what? This Super Bowl has been different in the sense that nothing's really happened in the 2 weeks leading up to the game. The game itself is going to be good, but it's been a pretty boring lead up. There's no real controversy. Not that controversy is exciting all the time, but nothing's really happened. That's the problem with the NFL. The NFL is kind of a boring league. Now, the game itself is going to be off the hook because it's a great matchup. You have two of the top 4 scoring offenses in the league this year. And we know it's going to be a good game. I mean, they're two very, very good football teams. But leading up to it, nothing's really happened. I think the biggest team that's annoyed me, Justin, it's been going back about 3 weeks now, is the Patriots and the nobody believes in us crap.
No one believes in you after 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, they got 82% of the public betting on them. They're actually favorites to win the football game. Hard to say nobody believes in you when you're the freaking favorite, right?
Yeah.
But
Millions of dollars say the opposite.
That's what they use to motivate themselves, right? And, you got to give them credit for it. They find ways to stay motivated and have a chip on their shoulder after all these years still. So that's been a little annoying. But truth be told, if anything, this week it taught us, and listen, the numbers for the Super Bowl are going to be big. The TV ratings will be big. But what it taught us this week is really just how the NBA is just sort of a funner, cooler league. As you look on Twitter, you look on any real social media, even on TV for the most part, besides like the rights holders of the Super Bowl, everyone's talking about Anthony Davis. Everyone's talking about Kristaps Porzingis and the New York Knicks deal. And LeBron James, like tonight, the Lakers and the Warriors game. I mean, hell, even that golf tournament in Arizona this weekend is getting a lot of publicity. I think people get bored with the 2 weeks. It's too long, the casual fan. But like I said, everyone will watch it. But the lead up has been kind of dull.
The only exciting part I think about the lead up is all of the dumb critics that you can see on Twitter or whatever it is. People always saying the most generic stuff. You know what I mean? And it's always like Tom Brady's the GOAT or Aaron Donald's the best player in the NFL.
You got to get a pass rush.
You got to get a pass rush. There's always the basic arguments and the basic things that people say. Every at the corner of your office, next to the water cooler, things like that.
They're kind of generic teams to the defense of some people in the media. They're kind of generic.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots don't really give you much. They don't really say much. And every freaking Patriot story's been written, right? I mean, they've been in the Super Bowl. That's a problem, too, with the lead up and the hype around the Super Bowl, that people are just tired of the Patriots, right? I mean, it's every freaking year they're in the Super Bowl. So it's sort of like a Patriots fatigue. And another thing is the Rams, the Rams are a strange team. They're not, Los Angeles is really disconnected from the rest of America.
Yeah.
And it's on the West Coast. People don't really relate to it. California is sort of its own little mini country out there. The Rams just got back there. So even in Los Angeles, it's not like they're a massive, it's not like they're the only show in town in Los Angeles, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like the entire city of Los Angeles is pulling for the Rams tomorrow. There are some people that are, but some people don't care. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy as far as the hype. And plus the Rams, even though they've got flashy players on the field, they're not overly, they don't really say much. It's really more just about their coach and Sean McVay being so young and how cool he is, etc. And, I think that takes pressure off the players, actually, because everyone talks about McVay all the time. He takes some pressure off the players, but like I said, you can throw all that crap out the window. It doesn't matter. When you see on Monday morning, when the NFL says, hey, look, we had 62 million people watching, and, they made about $822 million in profit in one day. None of anything of what I'm saying now matters. The Super Bowl is still the show, but the 2 weeks leading up to it might be a little long. But it's not like they're going to change it. We just have to live with it.
I think it's something that the NFLPA asked for when they bargained. They needed more time in between to rest up and make sure you're perfect, whatever that garbage means. So we'll switch. We'll switch over.
Really for the press conferences.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the whole media day. The media day is more publicized than anything else, I think.
It's just so like Emmett Smith can sell us some sort of Alka-Seltzer or something.
Well, yeah, then it's for all the alumni and all the Hall of Famers for the line up their booths and charge $250 to take a picture. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no, but it's listen, it's all right. I've been to these things before.
Yeah.
And it's a celebration of football at the end of the year. There's a ton of great parties. Listen, people in Atlanta are going to be having a great time.
Yeah,
but,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, the Super Bowl interviews on Media Row and stuff, it's all been done. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean, the media day, I like watching the media day. It's funny because you'll always get a few good sound bites. It's always fun. But for the most part, like I agree with you, Gabe. I think it's a little strung out.
Well, the thing is, like I said, the NFL is it's a very strict league. It's kind of boring. Yeah. So, like, coaches get mad if you say things like the NBA, players talk, right? There's personalities. Coaches don't really rein in players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? Like, players in the NBA are going to say whatever the hell they want to say.
Yeah,
they're not really worried about what the coach is going to say in the team and bulletin board material and all that crap. Everyone plays it close to the vest. And it's tough for 2 weeks. Like I said, you talk about one game over and over, and especially the Patriots. Everybody knows everything about Rob Gronkowski and Edelman and Brady. It's been done.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been done. But like I said, the game itself will be fun.
So we'll turn over to the UFC. A lot of big news happened this week, especially since the Conor McGregor Khabib incident. I guess I would say Khabib was given a stricter sentence, I would say, than Conor was. He has a 9-month suspension with a $500,000 fine, and Conor has a 6-month suspension with a $50,000 fine. What do you see happening? What are the likeliness of them two meeting within the next year? Let's say.
That's a tough question. They're kind of in a tough spot. I personally believe, I think Conor will fight somebody else first.
Yeah.
I think he'll fight somebody else first. They'll probably do the cowboy fight first. And then maybe Khabib down the road here. Now listen, Tony Ferguson should be the one fighting Khabib.
Yeah, I think so too.
Khabib suddenly is acting like Conor acted before, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Tony Ferguson deserves it, blah, blah. I'm kind of tired of both of them, to be honest with you. And, I was on Khabib when he beat Conor. I won money. I saw it coming, but, now I'm just sort of tired of it. You look at the UFC, the old great legends of the UFC, they used to fight. They'd fight the top guy, and then, 4 months later, they'd fight the next top guy.
That's it, exactly.
And they'd essentially fight, 3 times a year, maybe 2.
It's almost become boxing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And that's why people used to like the UFC. That's why I remember Dana White, saying the strength of the UFC is the fact that we're not like boxing. We have all these great fights. And now you look, they're undercards, kind of like boxing, right? They just sort of put a bunch of people. There's only 1 or 2 sort of big fights on cards. There's a million of them. But listen, the UFC is making a lot of money now.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's an entertaining product. I don't have a problem with the product, but as far as they push the same people all the time, right? And it gets old. All right, Conor this, Conor that, and Khabib this, Khabib that. I mean, Khabib's not said. Khabib said he wants to fight in November. The thing, their problem is that if Conor fights Khabib and he just comes back and there's a rematch. Now, number one, there shouldn't be a rematch. Only because Khabib kicked the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like, it was so close that, he deserves a rematch. He doesn't really deserve a rematch. He's only going to get it because he's Conor McGregor.
Well, there's 3 other guys in that division that should get a rematch, at least a shot before him. There's Ferguson,
people don't
Poirier.
get rematches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, he got the rematch against Diaz, too, right?
Yeah, that'd be
If
nice.
he would have beat Diaz, Diaz wasn't getting a rematch.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Conor's their boy. It is what it is. Everyone knows it. It's kind of embarrassing at this point.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. If he fights Khabib again, he's going to lose again.
Mm-hmm.
And he loses again, and even the biggest Conor fans, and they're going to start to say, wow, I mean, the guy doesn't win, right? I mean, he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights or whatever, and he runs his mouth all the time. And plus, the UFC, they make a lot of money off of Conor. Conor's fans love him no matter what.
Yeah.
So they can milk this for a couple of more times. I imagine he fights Cowboy Cerrone. They make a ton of money, and then they hype up for Khabib. Because otherwise, he fights Khabib. Khabib takes him down, caves his face in again. It's going to be hard for them to make a lot of money off of Conor in the future. So they got to be careful bringing Conor back. Otherwise, he's going to end up like Ronda Rousey, and he's just going to split.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we're on with Gabe Morency of Sports Rage. Of course, you can be followed at Sports Rage. Gabe, you and I have something in common that I think some of the members in this room don't even know. You're the rock star of sports media from our town, from Montreal, because of your involvement with a heavy metal band, Homicide. I used to play in a heavy metal band in my youth.
Oh, really?
Guys in this room didn't even know that. It's a weird situation this week in Miami. There's a heavy metal cruise taking place. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I said,
a cruise?
Yeah. I said, are there even young sort of like rock fans and metalheads? What are your thoughts regarding sort of like, are young people still enjoying heavy metal music in 2019?
Different now.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, I'm getting older now. And in fact, Homicide just recorded a new record. It's not finished yet. It's recorded, but it's pretty good too. It was recorded at Metalwork Studios in Toronto.
Awesome.
It's recorded, but it needs to be mastered and finished up. So that'll be out in a couple of months.
There you go.
But I'm a little out of touch.
Yeah.
Like I'm on top of the sports world, but when it comes to the music scene, I'm a little out of touch now. But you look, there's a million of these new bands that are very, very popular. So I think heavy metal is actually, and it's quote unquote new metal. The old metal is still big, like Ozzy and Priest, and whenever those classic metal bands tour, they make a ton of money and they fill up places still. So yeah, heavy metal never goes away. It's like wrestling, right? It really is. It's like wrestling. It'll never go away. Just sometimes it's bigger in some eras, and then sometimes it's not as big, but it's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, but metal, I'd say it's pretty freaking big, man. I mean, when you have Motorhead doing like car commercials and, Ace of Spades is like, on every second car commercial on TV now, and Lemmy's voice, and Metallica is so mainstream. Yeah, I'd say metal is going strong. And plus, man, there's probably like 22,000 bands that I've never heard of that are filling up club shows across America right now. So metal's kicking ass.
Where can we find the new album? Will it be available on streaming services like Spotify?
Yeah. Spotify and Pandora and iTunes and all that type of stuff. We're gonna get a couple old school. We might do vinyl.
Awesome.
CDs are kind of done now. Yeah, vinyl. That's one thing. Vinyl seems to be making a little bit of a comeback. Actually,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't even have a turntable, but it'd be cool to have the old record cover and the vinyl and stuff. We had one CD before years ago. It was pretty good. It still stands, actually. The songs are good. They're all up on YouTube. If you just look up Homicide Morency, if you just put Homicide, you might get some murders and stuff. So
Yeah, I did it on my phone, and I'm regretting it immediately.
Might lose my job.
Yeah. You got to go Homicide Morency, and then you'll see. There's actually a video up of a show we played at the Spectrum in Montreal years ago with King Diamond and Merciful Fate.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool up there. So yeah, we got some cool stuff. Yeah, the new stuff we did is it's pretty modern too, even though I don't listen to modern crap, but it's pretty heavy, the stuff we did.
Awesome.
So Gabe, I know. So you're from Montreal. We mentioned before. My brother and I used to play Madden and watch and listen to you after the Habs games on Saturday nights. Just to listen to you rip on some Habs fans. It was pretty funny. But you're from Montreal, and I'm sure you're very nostalgic about the Montreal Expos. Do you think that we can have another MLB team in the league?
Yeah, I think the Expos will be back. It's only really a matter of when.
Yeah.
I had hopes that it would actually be this year. With the stuff that was going on in Tampa Bay, but it looks like they're still playing there. It's complicated there. I think they can get out at any time. I don't really know at this point. It always changes the little legalities in Tampa Bay
Or illegalities.
Usually, yes.
Yeah,
It is Florida.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. That's the thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. They'll be back eventually. I mean, hopefully we don't have to wait another 10 years. Baseball wants Montreal back. And baseball wants to add some teams, but I've also heard Bronfman and Garber both state that relocation is better for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they have the money for an all-out expansion team.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's easier to sort of buy a team and move them there than it is to come in, with a couple of $1 billion. So, I thought my hopes up pretty high about this. Like, I think, I always thought that they would come back. Even when they left, I told people they'll be back, but it'll probably be like 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And what's it been? I think it's
close.
2003.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 15, 16 now. So, yeah, it'll probably be, a safe guesstimation will probably say in the next 7 to 8 years. I mean, this stuff, I was hoping it'd be sooner. I really was, man.
Yeah.
But you look
Same
like
here.
The World Cup of soccer is going to be in Montreal, right? Or at least, some of the games are going to be in Montreal in 2026. Montreal is definitely coming back. Now, I don't go back there that often, unfortunately. I'm very busy now. I'm in New York, but it's close. But I just, I just don't have. I haven't had a reason. Like, if I did a show in Montreal about 2 years ago, I did an anniversary show. But every time I am back, and I was there for personal reasons quickly this summer, and every time I am back, I was actually for Homicide. Every time I am back, I'm surprised, and I'm pleasantly, I like to see it. But Montreal seems to be on the upswing right now as well.
It does feel that way.
Yeah, the economy's definitely doing better than it was like 20 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
the money's there in Montreal. Montreal's a world-class city. There's a ton of people. It's actually like the seventh biggest market in North America, eighth biggest TV market. So, that's the whole thing. Montreal's not a small market town. It's not a small market city. But at some point, it's enough talking about it. Oh, we're looking at bringing the Expo, and at some point, you got to put the money on the table and do it.
That's
exactly. We have a couple of other topics to get to, Gabe, but we're gonna do it sort of like quick fire because we're running short on time. Firstly, you mentioned you live in New York. What's the reaction been locally to the Kristaps Porzingis trade?
The people they're pretty confused and unhappy about it. But really, I mean, the Knicks have been kind of a circus and just a train wreck for so long. I think they're sort of numb to it right now. I mean, I think Knicks fans are hoping that they're able to get one of these big free agents, or maybe two of them. They're hoping. They've cleared the deck. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've completely cleared the deck. They got $76 million to spend on two players. Now we'll see if one of these megastars take it. I don't think they will, though.
I agree. I'm in your camp. As long as Dolan's there, I think they're damned.
Good.
So quickly, what's your favorite prop bet for the weekend?
Well, I've got a lot of them actually, but I'm not really into the gimmick props all that too much, to be honest. Like, I don't really bet. Like, I don't care what song. I don't like Maroon 5. I won't see them. I don't care what song they play first.
Yeah,
I don't bet.
That's my opportunity to go fill up everyone's beers. Yeah. I like
bet the,
go ahead,
the Gatorade color or any of that crap. But, as far as props, I would say, will there be a successful 2-point conversion?
That's a good
at plus 275 is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to throw for more yards, Tom Brady or Jared Goff? At minus 130, I'd be taking a look at Tom Brady there. Over under punts, 7.5 punts. I don't think there'll be 8 punts in the game. I would go under in the punts. And, for some bigger odds, too, if you're looking for the first touchdown of the game, I think Todd Gurley is going to score the first touchdown of the game. That's about plus 700.
Oh, that's nice. I think I'm going to take that.
And your pick for the game?
Rams wins. Rams win a close one. We'll say Rams win 31-27.
That's exactly what I said.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
What I said.
Thanks, Gabriel Morency, for joining us. Remember, you can follow him at Sports Rage. He was part of young adult life and young adolescent and late adolescent life of me and Terry Tam growing up in Montreal. One of the great sport broadcasters we've ever had the chance to listen to. Thanks, Gabriel, for making time for us on Super Bowl Saturday.
Thanks for the kind words, guys. All the best.
Have a great time.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh and the Steel City. And Steel City, welcome to Kendall Coyne. What has your life been like since that All-Star weekend, Kendall?
Pierre, it's been overwhelming. It started on a red line at the SAP Center in San Jose, and it's taken me to a red line here at PPG Paintings Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's been exciting, it's overwhelming, and I'm so excited to join you here.
So Tampa's going to be on your left, Pittsburgh's going to be on your right. What are you expecting out of this game? We're paying you to be an analyst, not to be a fan tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Tampa start. They've been off for 10 days, haven't had a game. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, had a tough loss on Monday, got a little bit blown out of the water by New Jersey Devils, so I'm excited to see the start tonight.
Let's have a blast. Johnny, back to you.
Thank you, Pierre.
Fuck, I love Pierre Maguire.
He's amazing.
Okay, so this is what
Great voice.
This is Hangry Terry. It's my favorite. It's my favorite part of the week is when I can talk shit for a few minutes without being interrupted.
And without eating.
Without eating. I mean, yeah.
It's difficult for you to spend time not eating.
So I love Pierre Maguire. I also hate Pierre Maguire sometimes. And for this reason is that sometimes he can talk too much. And I think that the internet went fucking nuts this week over people saying that he was mansplaining to Kendall Coyne. Now, Kendall Coyne, do you know who she is, Peeze?
Yes.
Okay. So Kendall Coyne, for those who don't know, she was the first woman to ever participate in the NHL All-Star Game. Mm-hmm. She did the speed challenge where I think she finished second or third with NHL talent around her. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive. She played for Team USA. She's a gold medalist. So she's doing her first play-by-play game, and Pierre Maguire starts explaining the situation because it's her first time behind the camera, and people thought that he was mansplaining the game because he said, you got your Tampa Bay Lightning on your left, and you got your Pittsburgh Penguins on your right. So people thought that he was dumbing it down for her, where at the end of the day, I think she can dumb down hockey for him. But people get so mad at Pierre Maguire. So mad at Pierre Maguire, like I used to do. But Pierre Maguire, he's annoying sometimes. So he can say things like, oh, he's a very good friend of mine when they've spoken like twice or something like that. But like people got so mad at him and they're saying, I don't even know why he's behind the bench anyway. Because he knows the sport of hockey. Mm-hmm. And what pisses me off is that people hated on the guy so much when he has like the most passion for the sport more than anybody I've ever seen. And it's annoying that people can just go fucking nuts for no reason and say that he was mansplaining to a chick that knows how to play the game better than him.
Yeah.
And that's the part that pissed me off the most, that people are fucking so triggered and so sensitive.
We're going to get blowback because you call women chicks. But anyway.
No, I said
thanks for the hate mail.
I said this
Terry.
chick. Okay, this woman.
Did she respond to it at all? Did she have anything to...
She didn't have to. She didn't have to do anything, but he apologized to her and her family. Where I don't think he should have to apologize.
Like, here's the thing. You know, if the person actually interpreted it that way and was like, yo, I was offended because you did that, then the normal reaction is like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
You.
No, what? Really?
I mean, no. I'm sorry, I'm just angry. I'm angry.
And so the thing is that at some point, there is a difference between mansplaining and explaining.
Of course.
And hearing the clip, and now in preparation for this show, and on the show, it's just an explanation.
There's no man in there.
So, like, Terry, when you explain things to me,
Yeah.
I know it's not the same thing, but you're explaining it to me. And, like, the difference is, if you're explaining it specifically that way because you think a woman does not know that or does not have that knowledge.
She could, there's
no way that he didn't think she had knowledge of the sport of hockey.
No, but even if he's like, we're paying you to be an analyst, not a fan. And people freaked out about that too, saying that, oh, she's more than a fan. She's an Olympic gold medalist. Da, 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 da. So like, it's just mindless play-by-play jokes. Relax. Relax.
Yeah, but it's just Twitter though. Everyone's offended on Twitter about something.
Everybody's offended.
Everyone.
But I love going through. I love
it's beautiful.
In every Twitter feed, there's always somebody that says, I'm just here for the comments. Because it's true. I am there for the comments.
So that was a great interview with Gabe Morency.
Yeah. Awesome.
That dude's on fire.
Yeah, I like that dude.
On fire.
If you ever want a lot of information, he'll give it to you.
Yeah.
He's like an encyclopedia.
I felt bad having to rush his answer at the end, but I'm like, you guy, so many people want to hear your thoughts on so many things, but your answers are long, and they're long, but like they're not long-winded. He's giving you a lot of content. He's a really smart guy.
I was tuning in as if I was listening to him on the radio for real. Yeah.
At one point, you and I were like, oh yeah, we gotta ask him a question because we're just like, awesome. We got a few more quick fire topics to get out. The retirement of Julius Peppers. This is the man who should be the mascot for our show. His name is Peppers.
He is Peppers.
The spiciest retirement of all time.
He is a Pepper, and I mean, this is how old I am. I forgot that he was in the league.
Yeah, me too.
So I thought he retired though. I thought he maybe he's.
You know what those people believe is this other world where Nelson Mandela died in jail?
Oh, okay.
And like Paul McCartney's still alive.
Those are the same people that think that Julius Peppers retired originally.
Yes, okay. Same people.
Exactly.
Earth is flat. Paul McCartney. But Paul McCartney died in the White Album. Was that you? Are you on that?
Yeah, and the whole thing was he's barefoot. That means he's in heaven or something.
Or Abbey Road. That was it.
Abbey Road. Yeah, it wasn't. No, I don't believe that. No.
Okay. But Julius Peppers retired before?
I do believe that, yes.
So that happened?
Yes, that happened.
So this is just like the government's lying to us.
Exactly.
Fluoride in the water.
Chemtrails.
I was reading the Players Tribune. I love what first the NBA did with Players Tribune, and now other leagues are adopting it. Hearing things from players in their own voice.
One of my favorite ones is Brendan Morrow in the NHL.
Yeah.
Even of I forgot his name now. He was off Dan Carcillo in the NHL also. They're pretty good, honestly. And the guy that got drafted, that got nominated to the All-Star game in the NHL, who didn't deserve John Scott. John Scott. Yeah, he had a good one.
I liked where he said he didn't need Super Bowls as validation, and this is a guy who he played basketball all high school.
Yeah.
Then was a tight end in college. Yeah. Realized he wasn't going to make it as tight end. Basically asked his coach to move to defensive end. And man, that was a great move. Obviously, being one of the best defensive ends of all time.
Yeah.
And I've always found it weird how we validate individual personal success.
Yeah.
As whether or not you won a Super Bowl on a team that may or may not have been strong enough to win a Super Bowl. The guy did amazing work on every team he was in, except for maybe the last couple of years where we thought he was retired. So, but 17 years.
But did he win with Green Bay?
No, he didn't win.
He never won.
It's
a shame.
He didn't win with Panthers, although he did get there. Although
that's what it was.
Jake Delhomme, you can't blame him for. How did Jake Delhomme get to a goddamn Super Bowl?
There was a receiver wide open on that last play too.
Yeah, that's fine. But he's also Jake Delhomme.
That's it.
Another player who's rumored to maybe retire at the end of this season is Rob Gronkowski. What would be his retirement plans, do you think?
Oh, so he hasn't spent a penny of his salary. He's only spent his bonuses, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna just chill on a farm somewhere, and every weekend go to the city and get blasted with strippers.
But like, so I figure, you know how like you
Monday to Friday farmer,
yeah.
Saturday and Sunday downers off of.
I don't
Coke
see him
binge.
as the farmer. I see him just at a farm, and like when
At
you
a
walk into
farm.
someone's, when you walk into someone's '90s Civic and they got all those blue lights.
Yeah.
That's the inside of the farm. But then he also can't sleep because he doesn't know how to turn off the lights. So the Coke binge will be real.
The Coke binge will be real.
Doesn't he have that off-season cruise that he does?
Yeah.
He does an off-season cruise, which crazy to
What
me
do
that
you
Bill Belichick hasn't suspended him yet for that.
It's just because he's that good.
He does a cruise.
He
with,
has
like,
a cruise.
ladies and stuff. With players and he does this benefit. It's like a charity cruise.
Oh, okay. Why
Is
would
it
why
actually
would he
for
get
charity?
suspended for that?
I will look into that.
Well, because think of Gronk on the cruise ship
International waters.
with a bunch of alcohol,
International waters, yeah.
a bunch of very attractive women.
Yes.
I mean, does that seem like the Patriots way?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, the Patriots way is to lie about it.
It's
Get
actually,
caught, and then still find a way to allow players to play.
It's actually a website called GronkiesPartyship.com.
Let's apply, man. Maybe we'll set up like a live
Work there?
podcast.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Actually, wait, no, that's not a Gronkowski ship. That's another ship. There's an actual.
So that's why we're not going to go on the cruise. We have
Because we don't
some
even know
of
what
the
the
worst
website
producers.
is. One guy's playing Pokemon, the other one's giving
You
us
just
wrong
needed
info.
to Google shit.
yeah.
What do we need to ask Jeeves? That's hilarious.
As Jeeves, yeah. Bing.
Terry, it's the Super Bowl this
Alta
week.
Vista. What?
It's the Super Bowl this week.
Oh, it is. I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm just resetting for the audience. You're not the only one. We don't do the show just for you, Terry.
Oh, okay.
You're the only one of Hot Sauce Sports who's not going to be at my Super Bowl party.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I'm deeply offended
Sorry, I apologize.
because I bought a Terry amount of food.
That's a lot of food.
I want to know. Yeah, it's a lot of food. I want to know what are your Super Bowl go-tos, and then I'll tell you what we got on the platter this week.
So we get together and everybody always brings like a plethora of food, but my favorite thing is somebody always brings Steamies hot dogs
All right. Well, we got hot dogs.
from DeCarry Hot Dog.
No, we do our own.
Oh yeah, so no,
We do our own.
doesn't work. So from DeCarry Hot Dog, he buys about 100 and I have about 15 of them.
Not true.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Wings, then
That's
there's
the right
pizza.
amount.
This year I'm bringing there's this taco place here in Montreal called Taco Trump, but not Trump like present like with an
Yes.
N instead of an M, and it's fucking good. So we went in on a couple guys bought into that.
We're doing. I'm doing pulled pork with Carolina gold sauce. Doing hot dogs. Doing chicken wings
Yeah.
with Peezy's own hot sauce.
What?
I
that
like
made.
it. Just my pants.
Yeah, we got. My mom was making Rams colored,
you lost me.
Rams themed donuts.
Nah, you lost me. Your mom should not be making anything. It's gonna be too fancy.
The thing is, though, like
It's too fancy.
I can't tell my mom not to make anything. It's not
So
possible.
mom, make it and I'll eat it on Monday because it
I
has
can't-
no place
I
for Super
can't,
Bowl
though.
Sunday.
Can only eat like this is my excuse, right? This is like, yo, babe, I'm not on a diet. That's not today. Zing zam zoom. I got a saison on tap. I got a cider on tap. A hopped cider.
A hop cider.
You're missing some of that too.
I love hop cider.
Full bar, of course, and way too many prop bets.
And
So,
everyone's driving, so. All
right, fuck it.
It's not my problem. It's my house, so.
So
listen,
sorry I can't be there. I mean,
That's
I
all
wish I
good.
could.
It's all good.
Maybe next year.
We'll eat in your honor.
Thank you. We'll
We'll
I
eat
will
your-
eat in my honor as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really the only way. At the Super Bowl, one of the most interesting things happened this week. The guys from Barstool Sports got banned from the media week
Why?
and got banned from going to the game because they falsified media passes. And I'm reading the story.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
the Barstool Cat, whatever his name is.
no, it was Dan Portnoy and PFT.
PFT
PFT.
commenter.
And I was like, that's actually my dream. My dream is not to go to the Super Bowl.
But they already had passes.
Yeah.
But why did they have to?
No,
No, they
they
were
didn't.
revoked. They didn't get press passes this year because they came out with a Goodell.
They had the
clown
general
nose T-shirt.
but they
true,
had the
true.
general press pass. They didn't have the I
Like
don't
the
know,
media day pass.
The media day pass that allows them, but they still snuck in and spoke to Todd Gurley and other.
I love
and
it.
Rob Gronkowski. They asked him like, "What's so funny about the 69?" Just to put him on the spot, you know.
That's a good question.
It is. It's a legitimate question.
Because
But it is funny,
and
it's, you
to
know.
ask it to Rob Gronkowski, it's even better because you know he can't avoid it.
No,
It's stronger than him.
He once was trying to say the word specimen and said the word specimen.
Species.
So he said Tom Brady was a great specimen. I didn't even know that was possible.
You didn't say that.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did.
yeah. We'll
He
get it
did.
next week. We'll get the clip next week.
out of here, man. I love that guy. He's a
and,
beauty.
And the thing is, there's also a clip of Sean Payton in an interview. He's wearing a polo with a t-shirt under, which no one would ever do, except that the t-shirt under clearly appears to be the Barstool Goodell clown nose t-shirt.
Oh my
Because you can see a little bit of the hair and it's the exact same color. Like, why would you wear a t-shirt under your polo? That doesn't make sense. It's dumb.
He did it on purpose.
So unless you get that old man cold, and like Sean Payton's sneaky old, so it's possible.
I fucking love it, though, especially after what happened. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We got a segment this week. We got Truth or Poblano.
Yeah.
I had no idea what poblano was until today.
It's pepper.
I know.
All of our things are
It's a
pepper or
big,
spice themed,
fat
Terry.
I
pepper.
figured, but I was like, what the fuck's a poblano?
I grew it in my yard this year. It did not turn out well. I got like 4.
I grew, I don't know if they're poblano. I think they're red bell peppers, the small ones,
Yeah,
the red ones.
capsicum.
I took a bite of one. I felt like I was going to puke out bile.
Really?
Yeah, like it was really bad. I've never experienced pain from
not
eating
supposed to be
spicy food, whatever they are. But they were. I made a spicy oil out of them after.
I make a spicy oil with the ones I grow. Apache peppers, bro. Apache peppers. They're
Yeah?
amazing. Amazing.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is an Apache pepper because they were fucking hot.
Perhaps. So, Truth or Poblano, this week our producers will pose a challenge to Terry and I. In awe of Super Bowl 53, we chose to instead make fun of the lifeless hell pit that is Radio Row by poking fun at the strangest athlete endorsements. In this case, we didn't get the athlete endorsements, but we went with which cars were the car given away at each of the Super Bowls, because that's better than hearing about an athlete pitch about which erectile dysfunction pill is right for us. I know which one's right for me. You don't got to tell me. It's Apache Peppers. Duke, give it to us.
Can I go now?
Absolutely. I need to explain the game, otherwise no one knows.
So the way it works, I'm going to ask you cars, and you guys can tell me if it's truth or poblano.
Just said it. Okay.
So we'll go Peeze first, and then Terry next.
All right, and then
So
of course
we'll do-
losers got to face a hot sauce bet. So give us the year and the car, and we're gonna say it's real.
Yes, sir. So we're going to start off 2012. Eli Manning, Chevrolet Corvette.
Eli is the Chevrolet of quarterbacks, so I'm gonna say truth.
I'm gonna say false because I feel like it was an SUV that year.
Truth.
Ow.
All right.
That was okay. Number 2, 2019, Santonio Holmes, Cadillac Escalade Hybrid.
It feels like it was the time.
You said 2019.
No, 2009, Santonio Holmes,
Holmes.
Cadillac Escalade Hybrid.
2009
Hybrid
feels like the
2009.
height of Escalades and hybrids being cool, so I'm gonna say truth.
That's an amazing analysis.
Yeah, I'm famous for my anal.
Analysis. I'm gonna say false because I don't think that the Escalade comes in a hybrid.
And truth.
Fuck
truth, yes.
man.
Sorry, this game's confusing.
Were you guys,
So the Escalade comes in a hybrid?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
That's the one you should get.
That's what I'm gonna get.
Number 3, Tom Brady, Buick Conclave.
It sounds like a car he would drive.
No, so Tom Brady, the league's fixed, and Tom Brady would have called and said, "There's no way you're not giving me a goddamn Buick. That's for like Matthew McConaughey or some shit.
Yeah.
He can keep his fake ass accent. He can keep his car. Poblano on that shit.
Who's got a fake accent?
I'm gonna say truth.
McConaughey.
I'm gonna say truth.
It's Poblano.
Yes.
Are you just agreeing with him?
Question number 4, 2013, Joe Flacco, Mustang Turbo SS.
I can see Flacco cruising on the beach in the off season. I'm gonna go truth for Flacco on the Mustang.
I'm gonna say Poblano
Are
for
you just saying the
Flacco.
opposite every time?
No, but I don't feel like they would give a Mustang SS.
Poblano.
Hey!
And last one but not least, this is a bonus
So I already won.
bonus
That's
round.
awesome.
This is bonus round.
Yeah.
all right? Rob Gronkowski, Brazzers.
That's always truth. That's always. I don't even understand the question, but it has to be true.
That's the end of the
So
segment.
he won
boys.
Brazzers.
Yes.
He owns Brazzers now. Rob Gronkowski at his farm with
Yeah.
the blue lights on the inside.
They can't turn off. His
can't
eyes
turn
are
off.
so much.
There's always a song playing in the background. It's always like some fucking generic song that plays on the radio way too much. Like, what was
He's
that
waiting-
Justin Bieber song last
He's
year?
waiting for like his Bose sound touch to die, but it's plugged into the wall with the lights, so it won't die.
He's like, he buys the Bluetooth Bose, but he always keeps it plugged, so it defeats the whole purpose of the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand why he can't hear it upstairs. You're supposed to be able to hear it
So
from
you bought a
everywhere.
second one.
You bought a second one and plugged it upstairs.
Guys, it's been a great week. Gabe Morency was awesome. Definitely check out that interview if you haven't. It is the week for Super Bowl 53. Hot sauce Super Bowl 1.
Super Bowl 1.
Picks?
Oh, yeah. Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Rams 31-27.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Fuck the Patriots. Oh, is that hot sauce bet?
$25 bet. I'm in.
Let's do something else.
I want money. 25.
Okay, well,
25.
are we allowed betting online like this? I don't know.
But I don't know how does it
Yeah,
how does
sure.
it free- how does it
Gambling!
Yeah, so we will do this bet.
We'll do it through me, so sure, I swear.
Okay, Pats.
Okay, so Duke has got the Pats. What do you got, Eagle? Pats, so 2-on-2.
$50 for $50. Let's do it. Rams. Bye, also.
How does that work though?
You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.